am Dominus Cinephile.
Welcome to my movie and TV series reviews, where I will provide honest opinions of the latest releases. If the movie or TV series is a hit or a miss, be sure to know I will inform you. But if the movie or series is trash, be also sure to know that I will trash the hell out of the movie. I am Dominus Cinephile.
And the movie on the review table today is the Nollywood film, The Herd. The Herd is a 2025 Nollywood crime thriller written by Lani Aisida and directed by Daniel Etim Effiong in his impressive directorial debut. Effiong also leads the cast, fronting an ensemble of strong performers, including Linda Ejiofor Suleiman, Adam Garba, Abba Ali Zaki, Ibrahim Abubakar, Amar Umar, Genoveva Ume, Kunle Remy, Tina Mba, and several other notable Nollywood talents. Premiering nationwide on October 17, 2025, the film made an immediately powerful impact. It opened with 29 million naira at the Nigerian box office and, according to Film One Entertainment, pushed past 131 million naira by the end of its first weekend. Within 3 weeks, it soared to over 166 million naira, and after its full theatrical run, closed above 187 million naira. As expected of major Nollywood titles, the film later arrived on Netflix on November 21, 2025, allowing a broader audience, particularly those who missed its cinematic run, to experience the film's gripping intensity. At its core, The Herd is a raw, unsettling portrait of Nigeria's ongoing struggle with insecurity. Its storyline dives headfirst into the horrors of terrorist attacks and rampant kidnappings, presenting the crisis not as distant headlines, but as a visceral, lived reality. The film opens on a high note. Newlyweds Derin and Fola, still flushed with the joy of their ceremony, attempt to escape their overzealous relatives, demanding endless photographs. Joined by their best man Gosi, they set out for their hotel, seeking nothing more than peace, privacy, and the chance to breathe after the chaos of their wedding festivities. But their happiness is violently short-lived. On a seemingly ordinary highway, the group is ambushed by armed cattle herdsmen, thrusting them and several other unsuspecting travelers into a nightmare. What begins as marital bliss quickly twists into a horrific struggle for survival. In a desperate bid to escape the attackers, Fola is shot and the wedding celebration collapses into tragedy, blood, and grief. As the captives are dragged deeper into the wild, the film intensifies into a haunting study of fear and fading hope. Every silent minute, every distant gunshot reminds the victims that their lives depend on decisions made far away. The Herd confronts viewers with a brutal truth. Ransom isn't the only outcome. If payments fail or rescue doesn't come, the kidnappers have a darker option: unalive the victims and sell their body parts. It's a devastating, hard-hitting reflection of Nigeria's security nightmare, delivered with unflinching realism. Interesting synopsis and impressive box office numbers, right? Well, as always, let's dive into the review and see whether this film truly earns the expectations and renewed buzz it has received since its Netflix re-release. To be honest, I barely heard a whisper about The Herd when it debuted in cinemas. The publicity felt muted, and the conversation around it didn't seem to catch fire at the time. Fortunately, its arrival on Netflix gave many of us, myself included, the chance to finally sit down and experience what the noise is really about. And let me be clear, Daniel Etim Effiong deserves serious commendation for taking such a daring creative risk. In a landscape where many filmmakers shy away from politically sensitive themes, he steps directly into the storm, choosing to confront Nigeria's escalating insecurity and relentless kidnapping epidemic head-on. This isn't just storytelling, it's a bold act of social commentary, using cinema as a mirror to reflect a national trauma that too many people would rather ignore. Which is why the backlash from a few voices in northern Nigeria feels misplaced. The film does not profile an entire region. It exposes a systemic crisis affecting citizens across the country. Effiong's intent is not to stigmatize, but to provoke necessary conversation, demand accountability, and force the audience to face an uncomfortable reality. Yes, I have my reservations about certain aspects, the production quality, a few storytelling choices, and some technical inconsistencies. But those critiques do not diminish the courage behind the project. In addressing one of Nigeria's most urgent issues with such directness, The Herd stands as truth to power. And for that alone, the director and writer deserve full acknowledgement and applause. Now, let's break this film down. What worked for the director and what clearly didn't? Like many Nollywood productions, The Herd comes with its highs and lows. Its strongest point is the director's fearless decision to confront the brutal realities of kidnapping and terrorism in Nigeria, paired with a handful of solid performances from the cast. But that's where the praise slows down. Because, unfortunately, the film also falls into the familiar traps that plague too many Nigerian movies: disjointed plotting, jarring lapses in continuity, and a rushed, poorly justified conclusion that leaves the audience wondering how half the events even unfolded. Instead of tightening its narrative grip, the film slips into that all-too-common Nollywood pattern where the story sprints to the finish line without laying the groundwork to make its ending believable or impactful. The film opens with a lively wedding ceremony, introducing us to newlyweds Fola and Darren, played by Kunle Remi and Genoveva Ume, who are clearly overwhelmed by the endless demands for photographs from family and well-wishers. Exhausted and desperate to breathe, they decide to slip away to their hotel to unwind. Gossi, the ever-reliable best man, is called upon to drive them. But the moment they hit the road, the tone of the film takes a sharp turn. They encounter a roadblock, cattle stretched across the highway. And it's here that the director abruptly drags the audience into the brutal world of herdsman-led kidnappings. There's no gentle transition, no cinematic glamorizing of danger. The chaos erupts suddenly, mirroring the unpredictable violence that plagues real Nigerian roads. The action isn't polished in that glossy Hollywood hostage thriller style. It's rough, unrefined, and unsettling. But for Nollywood, it works. The sight of the herdsmen wielding their AK-47s instantly spikes the tension. You can feel the fear radiating from the three lead actors, each of them visibly shaken as the reality of their situation hits. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for the supporting characters, many of whom appear more concerned with filling the frame than delivering believable performances. Yet, this is the moment where the film truly finds its footing. The tension builds not through cheap jump scares or exaggerated theatrics, but through deliberate pacing and raw emotion. Gossi, Fola, and Darren feel painfully human, confused, terrified, desperate, and that authenticity pulls the viewer deeper into their nightmare. The northern actors portraying the kidnappers also elevate the scene, adding a chilling layer of realism that amplifies the fear factor and sets the tone for everything that follows. The tension built from the kidnapping scene should have propelled the narrative forward, but like many Nollywood films, The Herd quickly slips into a pattern of poorly executed storytelling and questionable production choices. The plot begins to unfold in a way that suggests little thought, minimal planning, and a lack of narrative discipline. We are abruptly introduced to the chief police officer leading the investigation, Inspector Garba. He is shown at the hospital moments after his wife has given birth. Just as he receives a call about the kidnapping, his wife looks deeply worried. Garba reassures her that this case could change their lives, giving them the chance to relocate to Lagos. But the problem with this scene is glaring. We are thrown into what appears to be a major personal conflict, one that could add emotional depth or stakes to the story, only for it to completely disappear. It goes nowhere. That thread is introduced and abandoned in the same breath, and this isn't an isolated misstep. Nearly every family-related subplot is handled with the same careless pattern, introduced with dramatic weight, then immediately forgotten, as if the filmmakers lost interest halfway through writing them. This is where the film stumbles and falls flat on its face. The writing becomes overstuffed and erratic, bouncing from the intensity of the hostage situation to random domestic drama and back again, without giving either space to breathe. Characters meant to enrich the narrative instead clutter it. Secondary hostages, who should heighten the stakes, fade into irrelevance, their arcs left hanging or ignored entirely, as though the filmmakers assumed the audience wouldn't notice or couldn't handle multiple storylines. The result is a film fighting itself, strong premise and bold message, but weighed down by sloppy execution and narrative disregard. The subplot involving Gosi's wife Adama and Gosi's parents is introduced with only surface-level depth, even though it clearly begged for richer storytelling. Don't get me wrong, I appreciated the inclusion of the Osu caste issue from eastern Nigeria. It's a culturally significant topic rarely explored in Nollywood. But the execution felt thin and underdeveloped. With proper investment, more scenes, more emotional layering, gradual build-up, this subplot could have added weight and texture to the narrative. Instead, it's treated like a footnote. The tension between Adama and Gosi's parents hints at something substantial, something that should have unraveled slowly and meaningfully. But it never delivers. The story teases conflict, teases intrigue, and then simply drops it, leaving the audience reacting to moments that feel abrupt and incomplete, rather than experiencing a story that unfolds naturally. It becomes exhausting, not because the material lacks potential, but because the film refuses to let its themes breathe. A slower, more deliberate rhythm would have allowed its social commentary to resonate instead of evaporating. Another baffling misstep lies in how the film handles the families of the kidnapped victims. Strangely, every single family, beyond just the relatives of Gosi, Fola, and Derin, ends up at the same police station. Every one of them. As if by some improbable coincidence, the kidnappers contacted all the families at once, and they miraculously gathered in the exact same location. It feels contrived, almost lazy, like the script needed all the families in one place for convenience rather than logic. It might seem minor, but these shortcuts weaken the film's credibility. Instead of creating a realistic, layered depiction of multiple families grappling with fear and uncertainty, the film forces everyone into one room, stripping away the nuance and realism that a story like this desperately needs. To make matters worse, the film commits a glaring and almost insulting error in location continuity. Near the end of the movie, the female kidnapper Habiba instructs Adama on where to deliver the ransom for her husband's release. She explicitly tells her to head to a location in Kogi state. But moments later, as if by some cinematic magic trick, Kogi suddenly transforms into Ekiti state. Make it make sense. Why mention Kogi at all if the filmmakers clearly intended the ransom exchange to happen in Ekiti? From a cinematic standpoint, maintaining Ekiti would have been cleaner, more coherent, and far less jarring. Even a simple retake, just one line with Habiba correctly saying Ekiti, would have fixed the problem instantly. But instead, the production pushes forward, leaving the mistake untouched, as though it were some bold artistic choice rather than a sloppy oversight. It's the kind of avoidable error that pulls the audience out of the story and raises serious questions about attention to detail behind the camera. It's not all gloom for the herd. As I mentioned earlier, the film does have genuine strengths that deserve recognition. For one, the director's bold decision to tackle such a sensitive and politically charged subject matter is commendable. He leans into the story with conviction, refusing to water down the brutality of the kidnapping crisis, and that courage alone gives the film a powerful backbone. Visually, the movie delivers. The cinematography transitions smoothly from the warm, intimate glow of the wedding celebration to the cold, haunting bleakness of captivity. Those shifts are deliberate and effective, reinforcing the emotional whiplash the characters experience. The sound design also deserves applause. Its strategic use of silence heightens the tension naturally, allowing fear to seep in without resorting to cheap tricks. Production and costume design stand out as well. The contrast between the vibrant, celebratory aesthetics of the wedding and the harsh, stripped-down environments of the kidnappers' camp is handled with impressive clarity. It feels real, lived in, and intentional. The film's linguistic palette is another major win, with dialogue flowing through Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Pidgin, and English. The Herd captures Nigeria's cultural and linguistic diversity authentically. It doesn't feel forced or performative. Instead, it enriches the narrative and grounds the characters in their respective identities. This multilingual approach is one of the film's strongest assets and adds layers of realism that many Nollywood movies often shy away from. Now let's talk about the performances, because this is where The Herd finds some of its strongest footing. Starting with Daniel Etim Effiong, who plays Gosi. His performance captures the raw panic and desperate resolve of a man trapped in a nightmare. He embodies the emotional and psychological strain of captivity with convincing realism, especially in moments where he is forced to make impossibly painful decisions. However, where his performance falters is in the scenes involving phone calls with his wife Adama. Those moments needed deeper emotional layering, more panic, more internal conflict, more visible breaking. Overall, his work is solid, but it is not the performance that ultimately carries the film. Genoveva Ume, on the other hand, delivers one of the film's standout performances as Derin, Fola's wife. Her portrayal is grounded, visceral, and hauntingly real. In the unforgettable scene where she is handed a machete and ordered to cut her slain husband's body to pieces, Ume does not simply act, she becomes the moment. The fear, rage, grief, and split-second decision to strike the kidnapper are played with chilling precision. The freeze in her movements when a gun is pointed at her is one of the film's most powerful sequences. There is no melodrama, no exaggeration, just the raw, suffocating terror of someone staring down death while mourning the man she loves. She carries the emotional core of this story with remarkable restraint and strength. But we cannot discuss performances in this film without giving full attention to the villains, the trio that truly anchors the film's tension. Abba Ali Zaki, Ibrahim Abubakar, and Ammar Umar, playing Halil, Anas, and Habiba, deliver performances so lived in, so unsettling, that they become the spine of the movie. Ammar Umar's acting is particularly magnetic. She walks a terrifying line between brutality and charisma, the kind of villain you fear but cannot look away from. One moment you're tempted to understand her, and the next you're reminded why she is a monster in this story. Ibrahim Abubakar is equally commanding, embodying menace with frightening ease. There's no forced intimidation. His presence alone communicates danger. Abba Ali Zaki rounds out the trio with a performance rooted in cold, controlled cruelty. Together, they create a villainous force that feels real, grounded, and disturbingly familiar within Nigeria's current security landscape. Their decision to fully embrace the Hausa language elevates these roles even further, intensifying the authenticity and immersing the audience deeper into the terror of captivity. With these performances, The Herd achieves its strongest cinematic moments, moments that strike with the force of reality rather than fiction. In summary, The Herd delivers on its promise despite several avoidable shortcomings. The director shows clear strength in certain sequences, but other scenes desperately needed tighter control and corrective input. The missed location continuity is a glaring example. The writer crafted a powerful central story, yet several subplots, along with a few characters, were underdeveloped and lacked the depth the film demanded. Some dialogues fell back into the predictable one-liners Nollywood is notorious for, and moments that required layered emotional monologues were glossed over as if they didn't matter. Still, the cast held the film together. The performances were compelling, with the northern actors bringing especially fierce intensity to their roles as villains. However, like many Nollywood thrillers, the shootout sequences felt exaggerated and cartoonish, snapping the audience out of the moment just when realism was most essential. The predictability of the story and the unresolved narrative threads also weakened its overall impact. But despite these flaws, The Herd manages to build genuine tension through its characters rather than empty spectacle. And that, more than anything, is what makes it a gripping and worthwhile watch. And now for my rating. The Herd scores a decent 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon for notifications. Also, be sure to follow me on TikTok, WhatsApp channel, and Instagram at Dominus Cinephile for more movie and TV series reviews. Dominus Cinephile, signing out.